it's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. We're going to talk about what's going on in town.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are on the Mark and Cindy show this Thursday. It's the sun's shining now, but Al, I can't see behind me. It's cloudy.
Dark clouds rolling in.
Boy, you have well, I've got bad news for you. I announced it yesterday. Cindy's not here. Right now, she is, her intestinal tract is being abused by a plastic glove doctor that's got the giggles. Al, have you ever had the colonoscopy?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Twice, I think.
I've had it twice, too. Anyway, Cindy's experiencing it now. Also, we have Bea Rouse here, and I won't ask her if she's had the colonoscopy, but you need to if you haven't. Now you can't quit.
Listen, I saw there's a sign over there, free colonoscopies here, but I think I'll wait again. I've had it twice, and it's especially if you have a family history of colon cancer, it's important to have it. Really? Actually, the prep is becoming a lot easier than in years past.
You know, it is. I remember the first time, and folks, isn't this fascinating? I remember the first time it was, the gallon of bad. Anyway, it's weird, and I'm sorry to go on about that, but we do have, I called on my kid brother, Big Al, to be here, and he could have said no, but that would have broken my heart. And Bea Rouse, one of three of my wonderful friends I've got.
You have three?
I know, it's hard to believe, but no.
I'm shocked.
Bea is, gosh, what could I say? She's the owner of the Old Schoolhouse Gifts.
Yes.
And you got crafts and stuff in there.
It's
in
do.
Montgomery. And
we have a ghost.
Seriously?
Yes, we do.
I'm sorry, people joke about that, I guess. I don't know why I said seriously. We're going to talk about this ghost directly. You have to. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know when I was in there that's
You mean we're going to do a seance?
Seance.
We're gonna do that?
No. We're not talking to the ghost. We're going to talk about the ghost. Anyway, we've got that going, and anyway, I'll do more of talking about Bea in just a little bit more than likely. But I did want to mention next week, starting Monday, I like to tell people ahead of time because we're not going to be here tomorrow. Cindy texted me from the hospital. I could hear the slapping of rubber gloves on as she was texting this, and she said, Mark, I came up with a theme for next week. And I read it, and I said, hey, that's pretty good. And the theme is learn something new every day. That is fascinating. I learned something on Monday, Tuesday about autism. I never knew. It's fascinating. I learned something last night. I was reading about why we're stupid, why we forget things.
That's
was fascinating.
Good to know.
Anyway, this is all good stuff. And I did want to mention this one thing, and then we'll get on with stuff. Cindy said as she entered the parking lot at the hospital, she saw this sign. Keep in mind, she's going in for the intestinal abuse, the Roto-Rooter. And the sign said, deliveries made in the rear. That is just so cruel, that woman. Anyway, fascinating stuff. Our theme this week, Al and Bea, has been what ifs in life. What would happen if, what would have your life have been if this had happened or that had happened or whatever. And we may get in on that in just a little bit. But do either of you know what the significance of tomorrow is, date-wise, anniversary-wise?
D-Day.
It is D-Day, the 70th anniversary.
Isn't that amazing?
Of D-Day. That is fascinating. June 6th. Al remembers it well when, no, he doesn't. I
was 2.
That.
I wasn't.
Boy, you are. Yeah,
I wasn't quite. I was born 2 years later.
Yeah. You're definitely one of the...
Yeah.
2 years later. Yeah, you're the baby boomer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Al is not. He's too young. But anyway, so that's a big deal.
I'll throw up.
I'll have the flags out at some juncture, at least tomorrow. Also, today is known as not turn back. It's Throwback Thursdays.
Yes.
Where and Jill always puts some picture of the family in there that is
embarrassing.
The haters had so little pictures that anything we see is good. That wasn't one of the main topics of Al. Al, you haven't been in many of them because I think most of the pictures of you are by yourself. I don't know why that was.
Gee, what does that say about the Hader family?
No, we were.
Mom didn't change my diapers very often.
She did. That was what. No.
Can I tell you something?
I wish you would.
My dad used to say that he was so ugly. They grew up in East Texas in the farm. And he was so ugly that one year they put his picture out on the front of the scarecrow. And it scared the crows so bad. Not only did they stop taking the corn, but they brought back the corn they got the year before.
Taken?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
I'm sure that doesn't apply to Al, though.
It doesn't. I'm glad that skipped a generation with you, Bea. Sheesh. By the way, what is going on in Montgomery?
Well, this weekend is First Saturday, as usual. We have a farmer's market, and stores have sales, and we have the acoustical musicians in 2 or 3 areas in town. It's a great way to spend Saturday. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the general time of it.
Cool. Is Jared going to be there? Jared... Scarrett, thank you.
I don't know.
Who can know these things? Anyway, that's one of the things that's coming up, but you also have a big event, isn't it?
Yes, the Montgomery Business Association is having their first Freedom Fest this Saturday, July 5th. It's going to be a really neat event. They're going to have an old-fashioned patriotic parade, barbecue cook-off, guys. And, your names were mentioned with when they were talking about judges. Because we know you have experience here at the Montgomery County Fair.
I've got experience in chili, and I don't like it, Bea.
I've read that.
Al's the barbecue expert on this. And
okay, we can split you up.
Are they having chili?
Chili and barbecue and beans, I think. You can get online with experiencemontgomery.com. It'll give you all the information about what's going to be going on. A lot of music and, of course, a lot of patriotic events. But the parade is going to be very small, old-fashioned, not small town, old-fashioned type event. And I think it's going to be really great. We're hoping that a lot of the veterans group will be there. And some of the people who are celebrating with their residential parades on Friday can come on over and join in this one.
Wow. Just parade down 105 or wherever you are.
It's going to be winding through Montgomery, the narrow streets of Montgomery. It's really neat.
Well, you got some beautiful streets down there. Beautiful fences, too. Let me ask you this, though. Is it possible to move this July event to, say, November?
We have something else around that time.
Oh, well,
actually,
good.
in October.
Man. Al, when you were with the, what was the reenactment?
Wolf Creek Pistoleros.
Wolf Creek Pistoleros. I tell you, a lot of these demonstrations were in the heat of summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a couple of times Al had me emceeing, and Al, I was just ready to get the heck out of there. I was so hot.
Yeah, that's a little too realistic to the Old West.
Yes, that's it was much too hot. But anyway, I was great.
You got to be tough.
Oh,
got to be tough, Mark.
Yeah, Cold Springs springs to mind. Anyway, oh my gosh! Any minute now, Cindy will text in and say she's fine. With her,
we want to see the photos.
We do not. I wanted to show mine, but oh my gosh! And I am not joking. On Doctor Who, when he's going through a time thing. Portal. They show this thing, and it looks just like
I thought the same thing.
Video of my intestines. Yeah.
I was thinking my nostril.
Oh, your nostril? Well, now that you mentioned it. No, mine.
They all look the same.
It wasn't. Al would tell you it wasn't big enough for my nostril view. But, sheesh. B, by the way.
But we regress.
We do, don't we? Al just got off of a cruise to Alaska.
Yes.
And he told us a little bit about that last time. Fascinating. And I understand you're planning a trip with John Wayne.
Yes, John Wayne Rouse.
Where did Cotton... Well, first of all...
When he was a little bitty kid.
When I was a little... Okay.
That's right. He had soft cotton white hair.
Oh, yeah.
And so his family started calling him Cotton. And the night that I met him... He told me that was his name, so he's got to stick with it. Lie to me, and it's it's done in stone.
And on his birth certificate, it does say
John Wayne. His mama was a fan.
Mama was a roller. Well, I'll be John Brown. That's nothing short of great. Okay, and you are planning a cruise, and you're going to.
Yes, there.
Not the Caymans, but you're going to.
We're going to we're going around the coast of Italy, but one stop in Cannes, France.
You are so dang sophisticated.
Oh yeah, don't you know?
Cannes, France.
And this is a free cruise that was given to us by Harris Casinos because we have lost that much money.
So much money.
And because we upgraded to a better stateroom and costing us a fortune to fly. We're going around Italy. We'll fly to Barcelona and sail, and when we get back, we'll spend 3 nights in Barcelona. Or Barcelona, because it's Castilian. The little Spanish that I know when I talk, say Barcelona and donde está, I sound like Elmer Fudd.
They're pretty serious about that.
They are. They really are. It's not Tex-Mex.
Revolutions in the air.
Yes. I have the same coloring, so a lot of times if they, start speaking it to me, and I get wide-eyed and like, no comprende.
Yeah.
And with names like cotton, I think you fit it.
I need to find out the Spanish or Castilian word for cotton.
But you're flying in and you're flying out?
Yes.
Now,
out of
y'all
Barcelona.
sailed in and flew back? Or?
We flew in and sailed
back. Okay. And that was to Italy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're going to Greece, aren't you, also?
We did
You
before.
say that?
We
Okay.
went on a wonderful Mediterranean cruise with a group of 20 people, alleged adults. And we started 3 days in Athens, around the Greek Isles, and around Italy. It was wonderful.
Cool. We want to hear particulars and compare it to Al's trip in just a second, but we do have what-ifs going on. And as we're cutting to a break, I want you to listen to this song. It's familiar to many people, but this guy's voice is so unique. Mark and Cindy Show. We'll be back in a couple.
You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio. Now for your daily weather report. Today is Thursday, June 5th, 2014. Today's forecast will be mostly sunny with a high near 92, south winds going from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Later tonight, it will be mostly cloudy with a low around 73.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Donawick Public Relations. You've seen the billboards? That's right, wicked publicity. Contact them today at 832-326-1965 and visit wickedpublicity.com.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road
Love
when
is
you're
such a
missing home.
overused word. I kind of like this.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I like to use admiration.
His admiration?
I don't know, I just like the word admiration more than love. It's a little better. It has respect and love mixed in.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it has a little bit more meaning to
You know,
it.
I like
That
the
is
word
a good word.
reconnoiter. To me, that says more than the other.
That sounds like another treatment one might get.
The colonoscopy? Is that a maneuver?
Well, you need
is that a camera maneuver?
The earlobe. No.
Sorry, man, but we're going to have to reconnoiter your colon.
Boy. Anyway, we were talking about cruises, and right now, though, I haven't been on one. Kay is going on a cruise, Al, by herself. Actually, it's with some other women from church. And like you said, you went with 20?
I went with a group of 10 couples.
Al, what do you think about
Most
something
of them
like
from
that?
Katy. There was a lot of adult beverages consumed.
Okay. Like on a movie set type? After the movie? I don't know.
More or less.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is we had the topic on the Switch Hour is summer love.
Summer love, yeah.
And so one of the big focuses were cruises. Because a lot of people would go on cruises.
Singles.
And my argument was, and I go, do you ever realize that when you go on a cruise, the majority of the people there that are groups, it's usually the same sex. It's like a group of women or a group of men go. And it's
That's true.
But there are still couples that go, but when you go there, because you see people talking, it's usually
And that's why they have special events for singles.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Talk about reconnoitering.
Speaking of that, we're going to get to some serious stuff in a minute, but I think we should each mention a summer love experience, and I'm going to start with me. So y'all be thinking and don't even listen to me.
Is Kay listening?
No, it doesn't matter. It was in the 5th grade. There was this girl named Brenda Hornaday, and I'm not making that up, and she wore her hair in a bun, which goes against everything that's right in the world.
Yep.
She looked like Schultze on... she died. Ann Davis died not long ago, a couple of days ago, a few days ago. Anyway, it's one of these things when you're young that... It makes absolutely no sense, but I can remember she lived over there in the Red Bluff Terrace, close to the Red Bluff swimming pool. That means nothing to you, B.
Red Bluff over in Pasadena?
Yeah.
I'm a Houstonian.
Oh, my word.
Native is Houstonian. We immigrated up here in 93.
Okay, immigrated up here in 93. Oh, well, what high school did you go to?
Jeff Davis High School.
Son of Gun. I know somebody else
North
that
Side
went there.
Roughnecks.
Yeah.
They once had the longest losing streak in the nation.
Get out of here.
Now they have the lowest dropout rate in HISD.
Well, I'll be. All 3 of those students are still there. And
That's
I'm
right.
so
The
pleased. But
Western
anyway,
Jail.
I remember out getting on my bicycle and riding to the pool, and I knew actually where she lived. And I would ride up and down that street like it meant something. Stalking, exactly. But there was something, I never told her anything. She never knew, but there's just something in you that at that point when you're that young, I guess, first love, that is really something. Okay, Al, your turn.
But did she go all the way through school with you?
No, she didn't. She didn't. After the 5th grade,
she had to move to get away from you?
After the 6th grade, exactly. Her mom called my mom, and mom had Dad sit down with me and say, Mark.
Just a guess.
I would like to see my mom or Dad sit down with me and talk. No, I'm sorry. I would have been so much different had I had that conversation, but, I didn't know till I was 21 what the heck was going on. Al, you're...
I guess, in junior high years, a little bit of elementary, the Sandy Rice.
Oh, yes.
Down the street
she
from
was cute as she could be. I'm sure she still is.
Wait, you're not on the Switch Hour. You guys need to come on Friday and call in with your love story. This is crud. This is good material.
Really? Yeah. You're jumping the gun, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Mark, it's one of those tangents that took off.
It's a good topic,
yeah,
though.
It is.
Because we've heard some interesting stories, and some of them were a little suspect.
I need to listen to this radio station more. And I want to really listen to the 2 lawyers, the blonde, whatever.
Oh, the Justices Blonde? All new. They're going to be, I think this Friday, they're going to be talking about how to handle your children, because your children are liable for a lot of things that you can't control. Like, for example, if you take a prescription drug into school, you're a drug dealer.
Dick, that's the kind of stuff you ought to talk
business.
about on the lawyer show. So, Al, what were you saying?
That'd be great.
It goes into that thing, your theme of the show, what if?
What if, yeah.
If first time I ever kissed her,
I had no idea, Al.
It probably took me days, because I would stand in front of her and so awkward, and she had probably kissed a boy already, and when I finally, this is terrible.
How
when
old
I finally,
were you?
I don't remember.
31 as far as I remember.
Right before I met Marlena.
Another slow learner.
Junior high girl.
No, I remember on the side of her house, we were there for an hour or something. Then I finally pecked her kissed her, and ran all the way home. Turned around and ran all the way home. And that is what if
Did she
I
chase
was,
you or run the other way?
No. What if I was different and we ended up rolling on the ground or something? It's weird. I mean, that looked
tune in.
What a picture that conjures
That's
up.
true. It is so weird how you are. B, do you have?
Were y'all that way at all? I mean, I was bad.
I got one other story, and then we'll listen to B's.
Okay.
David Edgerton, his sister Diane. She seemed shy and all. She was so beautiful. Reminds me so much of Kay. Beside the house, there was something. I always had an affection for her, and then I did the peck on the mouth, and something happened to me. It was like I had no feeling for her.
Is that all there is?
That's
that
it.
what?
That was it was like, Diane, I don't know. You can
No
be a
magic.
friend, but there's no magic.
You
No
weren't
magic.
as good as
That's
I thought you
probably
were.
what. And she
No.
probably thinks,
She wasn't a good kisser like you thought she'd be.
exactly. I'm sure, yeah, I had so much experience.
The strange thing after that first kiss, every kiss after that went like this.
What? Oh, Alan Ross quit.
Hand
okay,
signal.
This could
That
be
was a
on-
hand
You
signal.
we're on the radio.
I know.
folks.
It's, he
Explain
quits
it.
it. Okay, be quick.
Draw your own
your
conclusions
your
there.
story, or do you care to?
Well, yes. I grew up in North Houston, and one of my friends down the street, one summer when we were, I think it was just when we were about to go into junior high, these two guys that we had been going to school with, we started running around. They had scooters, those little dorky-looking scooters, and we'd rode around and went for hamburgers and stuff, and there was some kissing going on.
oh my
That sounds
word.
like
Yes,
a
there
dream.
was.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a dream.
that was one of the
And
Burger, scooter ride, and some kissing.
my guy was Eddie Robertson. We went all the way through school together from
Well, I'll be Eddie
from
Robinson.
first grade on.
I'm thinking Sons of Anarchy, but I don't know why exactly.
Can you see B like that? I don't think it wasn't a scooter; it was a Harley. She's giving the soft version.
There you go.
B, you mentioned
A hog.
On your cruise, Harrah's
Casino.
Is this in
yes.
Vegas or?
We tend to go to Shreveport,
Oh, okay.
to Harrah's and Horseshoe, and we go on. We get invitations to, I have to say this carefully, slot tournaments. I said that once to my cousin, and he said, "Slut tournament? How'd you do?"
She was third place.
But when my husband's brother and his wife live up in that area, so we like to congregate and pay some Louisiana taxes.
Where do you usually go, Al?
I don't.
Yeah,
don't?
I've been once with some friends, and I wrote about it in the newspaper about how slot machines. I lost money. Virginia is the girl was showing me how to do it. They gave you $5 free to start with.
Yeah,
They said,
$5 whole bucks.
She said, "Here, Mark. Here's what you do. You don't, it's just nickels
Just put
or
it in the
pennies.
machine.
Put it in the machine, and then she
Hit the button.
hit a button, and it took all. It just sucked my $5 right there." And she said, "Oh, what did I do?" I said, "Go get $5 more." And I did, and I wrote all about that. And I got an email from it wasn't Harrah's, I forget who it was, an outfit. Some guy said, "Hey, look, come on up. We'll comp your room and all of this, and I'll get you started." In other words, so I would
Yeah.
write something sweet. But
Free
I
rooms, free food.
yeah. Oh man, the
Or-
food! They had a buffet that was
That's
wonderful.
right.
Sheesh.
Crab
Anyway,
legs.
okay, 3 minutes. Speaking of 3 minutes, that's not enough time to go to the movies. But do y'all know what's opening this?
Not a
There is something.
Do not
It is. It's Tom Cruise in that movie.
clue. Oh,
Dad, come at
That
Mark.
one.
Anyway, you're probably blessed that I didn't find this.
It's
but
called
I-
Edge of Tomorrow.
It is Edge of Tomorrow. That's where.
You know everything.
I just try.
It's your
to give them
job.
time. Yeah, I know. I actually have a computer, so I'm just like,
I'm not giving anything away when I tell you he dies and keeps dying. But when he comes back, this girl, beautiful lady,
Groundhog Day.
is teaching him how to fight extraterrestrials, and he's going to save the world. And anyway, I read the other movies, and one's about a couple with cancer who
The Fault
meet-
in Our Stars.
Fault in Our Stars. And I would love to have a go spend my money to watch a love story between two people dying of cancer. And the other's about
what a feel-good movie.
Oil industry off the coast of Ghana.
That's the greatest example of it was a good book,
Yeah.
but does it translate into a movie?
What is that like? Oh, gosh. So Kay and I will probably be watching Tom Cruise. Of course, I haven't seen X-Men yet either.
Can I recommend one?
Please do.
That has been getting not very good reviews, but it was really funny. Blended. I usually don't like Adam Sandler, because there's so much slapstick. But this was different, and what's her name's in there?
Drew
Drew Barrymore,
Oh,
yes. And
Blended?
the kids were precious. It's really a good family. There are some innuendo, and there's some jokes in there that hopefully the kids won't catch. But it's really good. It's not believable, but it's a good, entertaining movie, and there are a lot more laughs than just what you see in the reviews.
Wow.
In the trailer.
Well, I went to see Million Ways to Die in the West.
I want to see that.
I was so disappointed, but not as disappointed as I'd be if I saw the Adam Sandler show. No, Adam Sandler cannot disappoint me. I don't like him so much. I don't see his talent.
I have not seen any that I really liked except for this one.
Yeah.
He
I do
was
like
not
Drew Barrymore.
the usual. Yeah, he was not the usual.
Well, the theory on him is he does these movies so he can go on vacation.
That's
That's the theory, because if you look at all his movies, they're always like in exotic locations. And it's
Well, I tell you what, I'm ready to go to South Africa and go to that place.
See?
But
There you go.
I fear that hotel that they were in is probably in Disneyland.
No,
I want to find out.
I think
That's
they do
why-
all
It
their
was
stuff on
really
location.
neat.
I think they do all their stuff on location.
Well, I'm now ready to find it
I'll
and
find
head
out for
to.
you.
Good, please.
The very
can do
few
that next
movies
summer.
I've been in, it wasn't a time for vacation. I guess because I'm behind the scenes doing some really bad stuff. But Al could probably enjoy the vacation more
Yes,
than I.
we've been
Okay.
on several movie sets together.
We have.
They did film it in South Africa for all the hotel scenes.
They did.
The family vacation spots were.
All right, I gotta go.
Wow.
Got to save up my money for that. You think Harris
Anyway.
would send me there?
And they were also in Georgia for the Little League baseball field. If you want,
Oh.
I have the
cool.
whole itinerary
That's
right
great.
here. If you want to know for Blended.
Is that out on IMDb?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, we're going to go out on our break, but with this statistic, this fact, I don't know if we have time. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Wars 1, the fourth episode actually was the first one they filmed. What's his name? Harrison Ford made $2,000 a week. And Alec Guinness, who played Obi-Wan, he signed a deal saying, I get 2% of the, I don't know if it's net or gross, and he has so far made $98 million. He's dead now. $98 million off of that.
And his estate is continuing to
Yes,
fit in.
Harrison Ford, 2000.
Good move.
Sheesh. Okay, let's listen to Passenger as we go into our break.
Love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
Conroe Live is a nonprofit entity whose purpose is for the enhancement of the arts, entertainment, and historical values in historic downtown Conroe. Recent programs include centennial celebrations for several buildings reconstructed after the Great Fire of 1911, the upcoming Historicade celebrating the history of downtown area, an art bench program consisting of 13 art benches depicting history, Chalk Up Conroe, a program benefiting cancer programs using sidewalk chalk, a tree planting program along the railroad tracks along the historical areas in the downtown, and generation of approximately $250,000 for the Owen Theater for improvements. Future projects include downtown historical markers, a pedestrian mall on Simonton Street, walking history programs, and more. For information, visit their website at www.conroeliveinc.org.
This is Rick Schisler, the host of the Weekly Business Hour. Have you ever thought about maybe, possibly, even considering LASIK? Then call my friends at Man Eye Institute, 1-800-MY-VISION, and talk to them about a free LASIK consultation. The thing about Man Eye Institute is they want their patients to be happy. That's their number one goal. Whether you decide to have LASIK, if you decide to have another procedure, if you decide to wait, whatever it is, the folks at Man Eye Institute want you to be happy and informed and comfortable with your decision. That's why I never hesitate to recommend a free LASIK consultation for anyone who's even thinking about maybe getting LASIK. 1-800-MY-VISION is the Man Eye Institute number. because you get to walk through the process, have a thorough eye exam, and have all your questions answered. Before you leave Man Eye, you'll know exactly what your options are, and you can make the right decision for you. So don't hesitate. Call Man Eye Institute now for a free LASIK consultation at one of their 9 Houston and Austin area offices, including right here in the Woodlands. 1-800-MY-VISION. That's 1-800-698-4746. Discover more right now when you visit maneye.com about the benefits of LASIK eye surgery.
Howdy, howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoors Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil the Duck Commander Robertson to fishing legend Bill Dance or everybody's favorite uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on irlonestar.com.
Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it's time to snow.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that once again is Passenger, and we're back on our break. And by the way, during the break, we got a Facebook comment from Lisa with an E, and Lisa. It deals with something I said we'd get to later, and of course I forgot about it, and that is the ghost in the schoolhouse, the old schoolhouse. Ooh. You know, the schoolhouse is old. It's OLDE, and they quit using E's back in 1785, so this building predates. Doesn't date back then.
But the people who bought that building did. They added the E to it so no one could find it online.
That's they've done a good job.
That's right, by golly.
Okay, the ghost.
This building was the schoolhouse for the black children in Dobbin, west of Montgomery, between the 1940s and integration in 65. At that time, they closed it and it sat empty. And they moved the kids in, integrated them into the Montgomery area schools. And then in 1994, these lovely people from Wisconsin bought that vacant lot, half-acre triangular lot, right as you get into Montgomery. Mm-hmm. They went down there and bought the schoolhouse, cut it in half, moved it over there, set it up as a gift shop, replaced the plumbing and electricity and everything. And apparently this ghost rode it right up the highway. And they had several different things, like pictures flying off the wall, even though that the strings and everything, nothing was. The nail didn't fall, the wire didn't come off. They just, apparently we think that it was a former schoolmaster, the principal of the school, who was very strict. And my daughter saw an apparition there once. She was there by herself, and she heard a noise and looked to the right and saw this dark apparition that moved to the right and disappeared. And then she went over to that area, and there was a basket that had been knocked over.
Sheesh.
Ooh. Then there was another time. Apparently when ghosts tend to act up when you change their abode, you do some little carpentry
You cut their
work.
house in half, and you better believe they're going
No wonder he was ticked. Yeah, he didn't know which half to ride in. Right. But he stayed. And but one time, one of my dealers had gone to the schools to pick up her 3 kids, and apparently they were not as quiet as the ghosts thought they should be. And she said these 2 signs that were on a wire, hanging on a screw, flew off right in front of the front door, flew off the wall, over a counter that was about 15 feet or inches deep. It didn't just fall, flew off and face down in the entry. About that time, I had gotten there, and she stood up, and she was holding the signs, and her eyes were real big. And I said, "What happened?" She said, "These just flew off the wall." I said, "Well, I guess you better get your kids quiet."
Well,
but that was really funny. That was little things like that.
Well, would she still stay in the place after that?
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, and I've been there late at night sometimes, and if I hear noises, I say, "I don't have time for this. I want to see you." And we did have some. There was a guy in town who had done some filming for the Ghost Hunters, and they went in there one night. They were going to see if they could find something. They had the infrared cameras. I was out of town. My daughter was there, and strangely enough, they got there about 2 a.m. and it was storming, just like you see in a horror film. And they sat there and they filmed nothing really. But every once in a while, they would smell this lavender, because we had an open container of lavender that you could buy by bulk. And they didn't really get anything on film, but the crew were scared to death. It was interesting. There are several buildings that are haunted in Montgomery.
And I can believe it. That's an old, it's old area and all. Al,
it's Happy Ghost, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
They just throw stuff around.
Like if you go to Chernobyl, that's not going to be a happy place.
You're right.
I've seen
those people are ticked.
Yeah.
And should be.
I had an apparition last night myself, and I'm watching Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did what they did. But anyway, and I hear,
whoa,
and it's timed, but it's not this often. And then it started picking up a little bit, and Kay's in the back bedroom. I didn't want to say, Kay, something's in the house. So I got up and I walked gingerly into the house, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I get hit, a drip of water on the head, and I look up. My sheetrock's sagging. I got water coming down from the attic. When it's 9:30 and you discover something like that, Alex, the scariest thing.
Ruined your evening.
You know what it was? And I know no one cares, but
I do.
It was a ghost. No, it was the guy who inspected my air conditioner. There's a valve you shut off and treat the stuff. Mm-hmm. It's the valve that allows the water to go outside and drip the condensation stuff. But he never opened it up, and it is just fallen.
So he will get the bill.
Yeah, something's got to give. But he's the nicest guy. I mean, the guy that owns the company, nicest guy in the world. I mean, I have no problems with this whatsoever. Anyway, that was my experience, and it's just one of those things. Life is so good for me, but when I see something like that, I say, God, why me? What? That's good. That's just sad as it can be. Anyway, you mentioned in Bea, I'm sorry, we're running out of time, but we still got time to talk about this. I was reading on your blog or wherever about your son, your eldest son, and I said he lived in Calgary. Could you explain that? I mean, the thought of living in Canada to me is fascinating.
He's in Calgary is such a beautiful city, and the weather's really there unless it's January. It gets down to minus 40.
Oh, my word.
Now, I won't ever see that unless I absolutely have to. But it's such a gorgeous place. He was with Shell here for a dozen years. They lived in Switzerland for a while.
Oh, my word.
Their 4-year-old son began to play hockey in Zug, Switzerland. And he loved it. He was only about 2 inches tall, I think. Yeah. He was the shortest one on the team.
He had to reach up to hit the puck.
That's right. Exactly right. His stick was about 2 feet long. But they had met Barry Richter, a hockey player from the U.S., Wisconsin, who was playing on the European team. And over there, only 4 non-Europeans can play on any of their professional teams. And our grandson, if he chooses to play on a European team, he can play as a European because that's where he got started.
Yeah.
But he fell in love with the team. Barry's son doesn't like hockey, but our Weston really took to it. They moved back here. He played for the Junior Arrows.
Wow.
He played for a team that was going to Dallas about every other weekend to compete because they've got a lot of rinks there. We only have about 4 in the Houston area. But Cotton and I took him to the Boston Bruins hockey camp when he was 12. And he got the Warrior Award. His team played in Ontario worldwide competition. He got a hat trick in the All-Star game.
Good grief.
He started getting attention.
Hat trick, 3 goals?
Yes, that's 3.
And they throw hats.
And the hats.
They really do.
And it's a trick
really?
to do.
Oh, shit.
But he really has taken to it, and after Boston, he started getting invitations from these different schools on the East Coast and Wisconsin to go up there, live with somebody, or stay in a dorm and play hockey. So, and our son and his wife couldn't afford to send him, and we certainly couldn't. So Dan started checking around for jobs in Canada, and he got this great job with Talisman Energy, the head of risk management.
Good grief.
They moved up there a year and a half ago. He plays for a good team up there, and now this summer he's been invited to 5 different junior hockey league camps, where they look at these kids to determine if they want them to play with them for the rest of their high school years.
Goodness
as
gracious.
A junior hockey league. And so he's going to Madison, Wisconsin.
It's really big in Canada.
Yes, oh yeah. They cannot believe this kid from Texas.
I can't either.
Not only keep up with them, but best them in many ways.
Oh, my
and
Lord.
the one good part of it is he still has his teeth.
So all far. Of them? He's
all
got
of them, yeah.
Oh, gosh. It's...
Well, they wear face guards now.
Yes.
They I think when you hit 21, or 18, you can just do the visor.
Yeah. That may be, yeah.
Because I wouldn't have. I just go all face.
Oh, you would. I know you would.
Somebody told me
you're going to protect those pearly whites.
Okay, I'm not going to repeat that then. Calgary, the size, how big
Calgary
is it?
What is so interesting is it is booming so up there. When they first moved up there, they were expecting about 1 million people to move in because of the oil industry and everything up there. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous city. We've been there twice, and we're going in July. And we're going to go to Stampede.
That's the biggest rodeo in, the world?
It is. I think it is.
Next to what they've got in Belgium. It is a heck
really?
of a... No, I don't.
You can't trust him.
No, you can't.
But we're really looking forward to that. But we've been there a couple of times, and they live about an hour from Chateau Lake Louise, which needs to be on your bucket list. That is the most gorgeous old hotel. You've got to. It's about an hour from Banff, and that's where you see moose walking around the golf course. Very interesting.
And Banff is in
Banff,
Canada?
It's in Alberta.
Okay.
Both of them are.
Alberta, once again, the population, what do you think? Bigger than Colorado?
By about 1,000 or 2,000.
Well,
it's huge.
Yeah.
It's really a big city.
Including the homeless people?
Oh, hey, Dick, don't do that.
No, we don't include that.
Okay, folks, we are going to have to take another break, and when we come back in just a little bit, we will have our encouraging word for the day, and we'll share that with you. Once again, we're here with Bea Rouse and Big Al, my kid brother, sometimes called Alan. I don't know. But listen to this song by Passenger as we go into our break.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home.
Hi, this is Judy Deo, Executive Director of Tamagua Healthcare Ministries. Tamagua is a Christian ministry that by the grace of God and in response to the love of Jesus provides quality health care, offers hope, and restores dignity to uninsured, low-income families and individuals in Northwest Harris County and Montgomery and Waller counties. As a primary care safety net clinic, we provide for the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs of our patients, and we do it only with the financial support of the community in which we serve. Tamagua receives no government funding. To find out how you can help or to make a donation, visit our website at www.tamagua.org. Tamagua is spelled Tomagwa. Thank you, and God bless you.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last city council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio now for your daily weather report. Today is Thursday, June 5th, 2014. Today's forecast will be mostly sunny with a high near 92, south winds going from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Later tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a low around 73.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Donna Wick Public Relations. You've seen the billboards? That's right, wicked publicity. Contact them today at 832-326-1965 and visit wickedpublicity.com.
You see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Mark and Cindy Show. Sans Cindy. I got a feeling that Cindy is probably, hopefully, through with her procedure right now. So we'll be calling her and she'll be knocked out I'll get out. It's weird how time passes so fast when you get a colonoscopy. Yeah. They knock you out, and the next thing you know, wait.
2 seconds later.
When are y'all going to start this thing? And you don't dream, you don't do anything.
That's right.
That would be an interesting deal. I think that's what Michael Jackson took, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I would think, because he couldn't even remember he was asleep. We mentioned while we were off the air here, I know y'all were listening to the promos and stuff like this, and we were too, indirectly, but we need to have Bea, if you don't mind awfully, plug some, promote some things going on in Montgomery, one particular big event, Texian something or other.
Texian Heritage Festival. The inaugural event was last October, and the second one is coming up October the 18th in Montgomery at Fernland Historical Park. Ooh. That is such a neat historical site. One of the cabins there dates back to the 1820s.
Wow.
And there's only like 5 of those in the state of Texas. The largest building there is the Arnold Simonton House that's owned by the Historical Society. And that is the one that is really set up with some great exhibits. It's now open about 4 or 5 days a week. I should have had that with me. But it's really a really great location. Our event is Pioneer, Frontier. We have the Sons of the Republic of Texas, the Daughters of the Republic, the Sons of the Confederacy, Texas Army, Texas Navy, all of these guys who go all around Texas with reenactment. And it's when you get there, it's like you've walked into the 1800s.
Wow. How about
Yeah,
Sons
you
of
feel left
Pioneers?
out.
Pardon?
You feel left out because you're not dressed up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. You had your station.
Yeah,
there.
we
It was cool.
broadcasted there. It
You
was,
did.
You forgot
sure
to mention
did.
the cannon.
Ah, the
They
cannons,
shoot off
yeah.
cannon, and they shoot off. Hey, Mark, you like this?
I like it.
They do horseback riding, and then they do a little bit of gun shooting off the horsebacks.
They
and
slice
shoot.
they ride by and slice watermelons.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is. And the kids' games were really great. They were old-fashioned sack races, and the primary beneficiary is Montgomery County Emergency Assistance Group right here in Conroe.
Oh, yes.
They get 60% of the funds that we raise, and because of that, we conform to the Community Reinvestment Act because they service low-income families to help them get out of emergency situations. You know Margie Taylor, she's
the duck.
great.
The duck. She actually.
That's right.
She wished me a happy duck birthday today.
Good quack.
Okay, we need to find out when we're off the air here about getting a license with the reinvestment, the
Community Reinvestment Act.
Yeah. Was that
it
pretty hard
helps
to
community corporations are able to get a tax break if they donate money to a nonprofit that conforms to that. The other 3 beneficiaries are Montgomery Historical Society, Fernland Historical Park, and this year we have been requested by the city and we have added the Pioneer statues that are at Cedar Break Park or to be there. Right now they already have Dr. Stewart who designed the flag. It's a great life-size statue that Lynn Peverill did. It's really, really a great park, and this is really a really neat project. And but we're really cranking up. We're about to start getting a lot of information out there for potential sponsors and vendors, and we've got our pioneer reenactors and singers, and we have Aztec dancers.
Wow.
Did you get to see them? Are
Yes.
they cool or what?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's enough of that. We've got to get into our encouraging word. By the way, I did want to throw in that Al is the godson of Lynn Paravel.
Peverill?
I didn't know if he knew that or not. But,
That's odd. She's
by the way,
quite younger than you.
It's a lady. I'm sorry. I had no idea. I was reading this morning, and it was something that was so, helpful for me, because sometimes people, I don't know if they do this to you, Bea, or Al, they drive me crazy, and I start thinking.
It's a short trip, though.
It's a short trip, yeah. It's as long a trip as you'll let it. And the thing is, I was reading this writer who said, something, people are doing what people do. You should never be surprised at, wow, is your trust in this person to make you feel better about life? Like I mentioned yesterday on the show, this guy that saw me trying to get by, he did not have a red light. He was just jaywalking. And when he saw me, he slowed down his walk. And, just kind of. And inside, I almost said, "Here's my joy here," because I'm really getting mad at you. But anyway,
that's when I want to just go real close to them and let them
that's
feel
what they
the
want.
breeze of
And
my
then
car.
He slows down more. But anyway, yeah. And I read this one passage, and it got me to thinking of something. Listen to this. This is in Romans 12:2. It says, Paul is speaking, and he says, "Do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." It is very hard to think good thoughts if I am letting someone else rule my mind. And it says, renew your mind with God. And that is the message that I need to keep reminding myself of. And God is telling us, from my understanding, is, Mark, don't start thinking about, I must sin less. I've got to not do this or that. That's the negative of everything. It's like going on a diet. Don't eat a cheesecake. What are you thinking of? I'm thinking of cheesecake. Don't let people upset. No, the thing is looking at God. I'm going to rule. I'm going to take care of you. I've got your best in mind. Don't be thinking of those things. Think of me. And when you see this person, I'm trying to get you to be Christ-like, which, Mark, you'll never get there. You're further than so many people. But if you're looking at that, if you're looking at me and getting your mind right with me, that kind of stuff will not affect you one bit. That is the goal I'm going for. And you can help me if whenever you see me driving down the road, you move across the street a little faster than this guy did. I want to thank Bea Rouse so much for being here, and my kid brother, Big Al, who agreed to show up and co-host with me, too, and to get me through this time without Cindy, because...
Thank you for the invitation. It's been a lot of fun.
You're more than welcome. By the way, it is Dick Schishler's birthday today, and also, ladies and gentlemen, he's 14 now. You need to stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for the Willis Hour with Chief of Police James Nowak and a guest, John Bracken, who is the director of the Youth Service Center. Great show coming on right after this. We'll be around next week, and we'll be talking about doing new things in life. It's just fascinating. Thank you much. Best of luck. Our prayers are with Cindy after her procedure. Later.
Well, it's Mark and Cindy. They've got a morning show. Every day I listen in.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.